It is 5:14. New this morning, a record number of children are finding loving homes in Cincinnati. How about that headline? 9 on your side's Allie Kramer joins us live downtown with a look at these new numbers and what this means for the foster care system. If I may, Allie, you've been very involved in being a court advocate and up close and personal with these kids who need love and support. And I thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely, Julie. And it's so rewarding and it's so incredible to see some of these adoptions. And I got to tell you that I walked through the same doors that 259 kids walked through last year just before their adoptions, making it that record number. But really, to understand the magnitude of that number, you've got to take a look back in history of some of the adoptions here in Hamilton County in the last decade. Between 2010 and 2016, about 100 kids, give or take about a dozen, were being adopted each year. That number jumped to 141 kids in 2017. It tipped more than 200 kids in 2018. And then, of course, just last year, 259 kids. Getting more and more children in adoptive homes seems like fantastic news, but it's also a result of some very difficult decisions.
It's mixed emotions always in these kinds of cases because it's often sad about the circumstances in which they came to us, but then to see families embrace children and love them as their own and then seeing that come to closure is very exciting, and it's wonderful for staff to have that closure too.
Do you remember seeing these darling little girls, the Durrell family adopting two sisters? You know what, we talk about mixed emotions because the primary goal is for children to be able to stay with their birth families or their immediate relatives. So in 2019, we know that at least 259 children were not able to do that. And right now, we know that nearly 500 kids are up for adoption in Hamilton County. That means they will not be returning to their families and they need that permanent home. Now, there are adoptions every day here in the juvenile court system, and there will be a very special one next week. Julie mentioned it. You know, I do a lot of work as a Pro Kids CASA, and one of the children that I've worked with for about the past 3 years is finally going to be adopted on Tuesday and find his forever home. So we are very excited for him. But when you really look at Pro Kids, they had record numbers last year as well. They were involved with 1,009 kids with a record number of volunteers, 310 people. That's what it takes to service all of these children. Of course, I'm going to tell you that they are always looking for additional volunteers, and I'm going to share that information over on Facebook here in just a few minutes. You can also find it on WCPO.com.